Yo, what's up, everybody? You're tuned into Let's Talk About It with Cha-Cha and the unstoppable Run It Back crew. Get ready for high-octane discussions, epic stories, and non-stop energy. Let's get it started.
All right, America. Y'all know what it is. Y'all heard the intro. Cha-Cha is in the building with the new segment of Let's Talk About It. And so today's segment is about a couple that married in February and went on a honeymoon in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the wife got detained by ICE. They're everywhere. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, I'm thinking that, they weren't in the U.S. Virgin Islands. ICE per se. I think they were trying to come back to the U.S. and they might have. They actually got detained in St. Thomas. So yeah, ICE is everywhere, and it's crazy. She's been detained since February, and it's crazy to me because she has a pending green card. She's 22 years old. She's been in the United States since she was 8 years old. She came here as a Palestinian refugee with her parents.
Oh, she's Palestinian. I don't know why I thought she was Hispanic.
Yeah, and I can't really say her whole name. I'm gonna say her first name, Ward, Ward, because I don't want to mess up the last name. The husband said she's known as what's considered stateless, and what that means is you're born in a country that doesn't give you birthright citizenship. And since she was a Palestinian refugee she was born in Saudi Arabia, they weren't recognized as Saudi nationals, so she doesn't have birth citizenship at all. So her family came here when she was 8 years old on a visa, and although their asylum request was denied, their lack of citizenship meant the government couldn't deport them. Instead, they were placed under an order of supervision and required to check in with immigration authorities once a year. So she's been doing that. She's been doing that regularly. And since she's been here since she's 8, says she graduated from the University of Texas, Arlington, and now works as a wedding photographer. She has always complied with immigration rules for 14 years, but she's pretty strong. She's been pretty strong about this because she gets to talk to her husband every day. They FaceTime each other. Says she's currently being held at Prairie Land Detention Center in Alvarado. I don't know where that is.
After Texas?
I'm wondering. I'll have to look that up. Somebody.
I got you.
What you say the name was again?
Alvarado.
Yeah, that's in Texas.
Prairie Land.
It's
Prairie
Texas
Land
land.
Detention Center.
It's Texas.
After being detained in McAllen, McAllen, and she has a green card application that remains stalled due to her detention. They had spent the first months of their marriage commuting through weekly visits and video chats. So like I said, they're a newlywed, and
they went on vacation. I mean, they
honeymoon. Yeah.
Dang.
Well, and it's funny about that story because there's two instances in the Virgin Islands. There was one, like you said, the Palestinian woman, and then there was another one, Maria Bayless. Bylis. Yeah. She's the one from Texas, and she was trying to get a flight from from Charlotte to Texas, and she got hit by ICE coming from the Virgin Islands.
That's crazy. That's crazy too.
Yeah, it's wild.
And so they're both residents of Texas. Because this person is from Texas. This person as well.
Yeah.
They went to Texas when she was 8.
And that's crazy that both women are from Texas, and they both was honeymooning in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Traveling
Wow.
it's not a good time to travel now. It's just not. The husband said they carefully chose to travel to the U.S. Virgin Islands for their honeymoon, believing it wouldn't jeopardize her pending immigration status. So they were, they tried to dot their I's and cross their T's to make sure that they weren't breaking any rules of immigration, while she's going through this. They have a legal team. They're doing everything possible to prevent her from being deported. Those stateless individuals in removal proceedings are typically eligible for release after 90 days. She has been detained for 120.
Wow.
So once again, it's just the Constitution.
My question
and the
is, where are they
laws.
going to deport her to if she's stateless?
I know.
Wherever the hell they want at this
Exactly.
point.
Right.
That's fucked up.
But
And
will
it doesn't matter.
Will they take her if she's stateless?
I don't know. Like with the whole the El Salvador
Yeah,
thing.
they've been
supposedly-
accepting the
yeah.
prisoners. That's that money.
Yeah, they were like, they'll pay us.
Yeah.
To send people to them?
Fucked up.
They
So-
need laborers like that?
It ain't about need. It's having a surplus of like almost free labor.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
She's keeping her head up, though. The husband says she constantly says, when I get through this phase of my life, what am I not able to endure after this? So you keep your head up, because it's going to be all right.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be all right. But this is what ICE had to say. And this is baffling to me. Once again, there's just a blatant disregard for due process. They said in the statement, the arrest of Ward Sakik, I'm just going to try to say it, forgive me if I said it wrong, was not a part of a targeted operation by ICE. Of course they're going to say that. She chose to leave the country and was then flagged, by CBP trying to re-enter the U.S. The facts are she is in our country illegally. She overstayed her visa and has had a final order by an immigration judge for over a decade. President Trump and Secretary Noem are committed to restoring integrity to the visa program and ensuring it is not abused to allow aliens a permanent one-way ticket to remain in the U.S. And that's just not true. That's false. It's just false, and that's what they're hanging their hat on. Everybody's illegal. Everybody's illegal. She's overstayed her visa. No, she hasn't. So, on another note, America, I wanna comment to this person out of Kershaw, South Carolina. I'm not gonna say her name, America. But
say it.
Well, Javi wants me to say it, so
No,
I
you don't
will.
have to say it.
No,
Yeah,
I will.
say it.
I
Let me-
will.
let's do it.
I'm gonna get to that. So, I was Googling the story and on my phone, and I clicked on a link, and it has actually been shared on Facebook. So it opened up my Facebook account and showed the story there. So I'm going to read this comment that's going to sum everything up as the turmoil of America and the thought process of these Trumplicans. Cindy Constance out of Kershaw, South Carolina, said this.
Get up.
Quote.
Get up. Shots fired.
Get up.
That's what they trying to do. Married, thinking they can stay. No period there. So I'm struggling. It looks like it's a failure for the public educational system of Kershaw, South Carolina. Married can stay. Send them all back so we can take America back. Take America back from who, dumbass? From who?
Exactly.
Wow.
And the sad part
Being
about that
entitled
is
to a
she
country.
didn't even read the story. She didn't even read the story. All she had to do was read the story. All she had to do was read the story. But see, these Trumplicans, it doesn't matter to them, because this cult of a nation that we have while Trump is in office is just, it is what it is. And so, like I said, it's easy for ICE to say that she's been here illegally. For X, her visa expired and she's been here for X amount of years. No, that's not the case. Because number one, you can't say that, because you're supposed to be allowed due process, and the system is supposed to tell you that. But that's not what it is.
I mean, they're snatching people coming out of their hearing
Yes.
in court.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they're snatching people
I
up from
seen
that,
that.
and it's like they're getting the due process and still not working for them.
Right. They just right. And it's immigration court, so that's the thing about it. So you're allowing them to go to an immigration hearing, which is the right that they have, but then when they come out of the immigration hearing, you snatch their due process.
Yeah.
That doesn't make that make sense. Make that make sense. But even worse is that
I'm sorry. I read this update about the other incidents that I was talking about. The woman actually, Marie, she wasn't from Texas. She was actually from Charlotte, North Carolina.
okay.
And she was held for more than 10 weeks in immigration custody. And they say due to an allergy, immune conditions, inhumane conditions, she's unalive now.
Oh, there you go.
Damn.
There you have it, and there you have it. Who's gonna pay this? Who's gonna pay that debt?
There are results from the actions.
Yeah, she was sent to a facility in San Juan, Puerto Rico, a holding facility, and they, and so even the director said that said that they strongly believe that her death could have been prevented. We will continue to demand accountability and protection for people in ICE custodies. But
Cindy's Constance just responded because I replied to her statement, America.
A live team.
I basically said you have no clue. She's been in the U.S. since she was 8 years old and is a college grad. Do your homework, and also take back America from who?
Yeah, taking back America implies it was yours in the first place.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Once again, all I simply said was do your homework, do your research, read the story. And you know what she said to me? Where are you from? That's all she asked me. Where was I from? So I guess if I'm an immigrant, that means that my statement is just it's an illiterate statement. It does, so
I am
don't
from
know
the planet Earth.
Right. So I don't know what, and so that's the state of America at this time. It
You
doesn't
gonna tell
matter.
her where you from?
Hmm?
You gonna tell her where you from?
I'm gonna put something.
Look, I'm
I'm
digging.
gonna say something clever.
I'm digging for
Always.
God's
I'm gonna
sake.
say something clever.
Always.
As a matter of fact,
On the next episode. Nah.
as a matter of fact,
Cha-Cha's been detained. Somebody call to get his
I
mail.
know.
Nah.
I was just playing. I was just playing. But I'm gonna say something clever like, just like you didn't read this article, there's no sense in me telling you where I'm from because you're not gonna read it anyway.
Done.
Something like that. But
Mic drop.
right?
you're not gonna read it, and you're not gonna read it. So it doesn't matter if I tell you where I'm from. You're just gonna assume I'm an immigrant anyway.
She's about to get that work.
She's about to, yeah. Like I said, just read the article. Just read it. Just do your homework. Click on it's right there in front of you. And so, but that's the climate of America. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you're gonna get this work. You're gonna get this work, but it's a sad state of affairs. It really is. It's a sad state of affairs that this is what it's come to. That they know that the Constitution is the law of the land, and the fact that they can say she's been here illegally, and so she shouldn't be here because her visa is expired. That's supposed to be the end of it, and that's just not the case.
Yeah,
that's not the case. Y'all, it's not your job to prove her to be guilty. It's just not their job. Their job.
And those processes are time. There's time taking. They're so backed up in the immigration courts. It's ridiculous.
Well, but that's the whole thing. It's like two things. The first being about government overreach and seeing how much it is that they can get away with and the amount of time it takes for due process or litigation to work its way out.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other end of it, the bigger issue really is just about the fact that the immigration system is fucked up and it's not transparent at all. So we've got this clusterfuck of all the issues and fallout from that, mainly because it's been like a political volleyball for both the parties for however long. So it's not gotten resolved. And it's like now we're kind of at this cusp of stuff happening. And it's like, even though these are extreme measures, like this is it's not the way to resolve it.
Right.
The immigration system has to be fixed. And that is, that's a tall task. Not necessarily for the fact that you can't fix it and make it transparent, but getting the current people to work together to actually make something respectable happen is, I don't want to say a long shot, but it's just not, I'm not optimistic about it.
Period.
Yeah.
You know?
All right.
So I am responding to this person as we I can't help myself, you all. I can't. So plain and simple. It's something I'm not gonna be that dude. I'm simply saying to her, she asked me where I was from. I said the same country you are. This was never your country to take back. Once again, read the article. Read the article. That's all I'm asking you. Just read the article. Read the article so it can help you to have a legitimate grown-up conversation instead of a racist rant. You know, and that's, like I said, this is the climate of America, you know. And once again, and even with the part about the detainment. It's only supposed to be 90 days and she's been detained for 120. You know, so once again, it's still not working. So no matter what they say, you know, you can't make it make sense because they're still not doing it the right way. She should be home now. She's been detained for a month longer than she is supposed to. You know, and it's just, you know, it's crazy. It's not fair. It's not fair. And I just hate that this man has brought it to this. You know, I mean, honestly, the people that say these things and make these comments, you know, all they are is just stating how they already felt in the beginning. And, this woman lives in Kershaw, South Carolina. How was this person that's detained that lives in Texas, how was this affecting your damn life? How was it affecting your life? If she had nothing to do with you, and not only that, she was a law-abiding citizen that was paying her taxes.
Well, she wasn't a citizen.
A law-abiding person of residency.
Yeah.
She was seeking permanent residency. A green card allows you to have permanent residency.
Right.
You're afforded some of the rights and benefits of a U.S. citizen. Not all, but with your green card, that's permanent residency status, and that's what she was seeking. But
And she almost had it. It sounds
yeah,
like.
it was about done. It's being stalled because of her detainment. She can't show up to do anything about it, or she can't, whatever they need, whatever the process needs to come to an end for a determination, it can't be done. And it's like a catch-22. It's a catch-22.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to me. And so, like I said, you know, what did this woman, and like you said, Hobby, she's not a citizen, but she's a woman seeking permanent residency. But she was here legally, and she was a functioning member of the Texas society. She was paying her taxes. You know, so what? You know, how is that affecting you? She's probably making more money than you. Looks, you know, she's got a college degree. Cindy Constance, can you say that? What do you do for a living? Why are you asking me where I'm from? Why are you asking me where I'm from? You know, what do you do? Yeah, what do you do? What do you do in Kershaw, South Carolina?
Period.
Yeah.
But y'all go check her out on Facebook. Be my guest. Her name is Cindy Constance, STANCE
Do not
and give her that
go
birth.
check that lady out. Do not go check that lady out. We do not want to start nothing. We don't want nobody to be harmed. This is we do not condone violence.
This is
but
not
if you
about
feel
violence.
as
It's about having a
inclined-
rational conversation. That's all.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
we just want to have a rational. We want to have a rational conversation.
We
I
just
am
needed to-
absolutely sure that woman is capable of a rational conversation.
Right, if she reads the article. But yeah, that's my story for today. I just wanted to get that out. Like I said, the whole Facebook thing was just coincidental because, like I said, I was going on Facebook. I was just trying to Google the article to see if I could find. Actually, there were some things that may not, that I might have missed. Let me
Good story.
see.
I hadn't heard this story yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about the other one either until we talked about it. I
Until you
looked it
started,
up.
yeah, that's what's up. It's crazy what's going on in America with like even people that are here with papers to do what they need to do. You still are taking them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just and it's crazy to me. There's just this these Trumplicans and this Trump administration. They're
It's chaos.
just it's very chaotic and the blatant disregard for the law of the land.
Yeah, and I mean it's another thing too. They first started talking about getting the criminals out, which is fine. Get the well-known criminals, but that's also talking about the cartel people that's lining y'all's pockets with that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
but okay, so if the percentages even show that the crime rate is very low. It's very low when it comes to immigrants in this country committing crimes. It's low. So but that's how a cult works. You get something. You get the head of that cult to just feed you nonsense, and you just buy in because you're closed off to everything else. And it's so easy for them to make you feel like you're a part of something, just like this person said, so we can take America back. When have we ever been under duress as a nation? Since you've been alive, since I've been alive, since this person on Facebook's been alive, when has this country been under duress? Yeah, we've had some issues. We had 9/11.
the day the day that he didn't win and they tried to take over the Capitol.
Right. Yes, that part. And he pardoned them. And they admitted they pled guilty to their crimes. And so what about them? What about them? What about the terrorist acts of the domestic terrorist acts?
Right.
Florida State. I did a story on the shooting of Florida State. What about Parkland?
Yeah.
What about that? What about that Colorado shooter that dressed up like the Joker and slaughtered those people at the premiere of the Batman of the Joker movie?
I mean,
I'm thinking
even,
about the most recent stuff with the assassinations of the Democratic senators.
And there you have it. And
I've been waiting about the response to that, and it's like fucking crickets.
Yes, nothing.
And I mean, and it's like I spoke on probably many episodes before. Is this the domestic terrorist groups that we have in our country?
Yeah,
exactly. And these Trumplicans have nothing to say about it. Nothing. They have nothing to say about it. Oh, well, well, that's what the law is for. Well, that's what the law is for everybody in this country. But y'all don't hear me though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an old question that I posed in the beginning of our recordings and stuff. It's like, what are laws when the people making them are lawless?
Exactly.
Are you obliged to follow any of that shit?
Exactly.
Not really, because all of this, everything, laws are imaginary, and they're all built on that trust.
Yeah.
Well, and now
that trust ain't there.
And now some of the things that they're doing, like even the people that voted for them are clutching their pearls. But at the same time, it's like, would you expect a person with 34 felony counts to not abide by the law?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, because they thought they think like anything, he's going to wield it in their favor, which in some respects he will, but eventually the mode of thinking and the way that things go with that is is that it's all a self-destructive cycle. It's good for them when it's facing outward, but when it's facing inward, which it will become eventually, and they all turn on each other, different story.
Yeah.
So I'm going to close it out with this statement. Well, does anybody else have any comments about this and about the ICE detainments that have been going on?
Just a sad state of affairs.
It is. Yeah. It is. It's and we just hanging there, America. We just got 3 years of this crap. But
maybe
right. That's the hope. I'm gonna pray about that. But I'm gonna close it out with this statement that's gonna sum up everything for you Trumplicans and this Trump ran coat. Trumplicans, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? And I'm out.